I'll be discussing who I think Alba would be best with, and also who my personal favorite. Disclaimer, I've only played the jazz translation on the Steam, and I haven't bought like the extra DLC off of like the jazz website. Chart would go, it would go noise. The way I'm kind of doing this is that I'm taking both sides into account. What does Alba gain? What does Noise gain in comparison to all of the other members? Like, what would be the best outcome here? The first one is Noise because really like taking responsibility for his life. Alba really healed him, and I feel like with Noise especially because Noise, he's like an outcast. He's like a little runaway from being told what to do and stuff. You know, living up to people's expectations and everything. He kind of wanted to run away from that, and like that's like a very human thing. It's just really isolated. He doesn't even really interact with other members of his crew. I don't know if him and Alba would mesh well because they're both kind of smart Alex. Yeah, he's bald. My next may come as a surprise is Mink. So with Mink, I feel like this person is obviously very complex, very human. How I say didn't like him. I played him last because I really didn't, like what he was doing to Alba. It's obviously, very horrible things. And I really felt like Alba in particular with this route was really out of character. And like I know he has like a cinnamon scent mind control kind of thing going on, but I just like realistically everything I knew about Alba, like he really felt like he lost his personality here. And I think that knowing a lot about his backstory and kind of seeing these little moments where his values come out is really like impactful. So I really admire Mink to the point where like he feels deeply for his people, he's devoted to his people. But I think, yeah, it's just a horrible way to have lived with all of that like revenge and hatred in your heart. It obviously must have been really scary for Mink, and that it obviously really affected him. It does make you want to kind of know, hey, like without this grand devastating goal, like beyond the trauma, like after you were healed, what kind of lies for him? What kind of like personality does he have? How controlling is he? This is kind of like what Mink really needs. He kind of lives in a way where you can't really touch him. I think it would be nice if Mink could be given the chance of someone like as kind and like understanding as Alba, as down to earth as Alba could really help him to kind of reorientate and like heal after like a really devastating experience. I think Alba could help him with that. I don't really condone his actions. I don't think anybody really does. So kind of dislike the way he kind of saw Alba at first, even though Alba was acting really uncharacteristic, and he was obviously in a really vulnerable spot where he took advantage of him in the club or whatever. I just was thinking, wow, how am I going to get through this? His bad ending is also a little bit jarring, where he says, oh, we're going to be together forever. I'm not sure if like some of the DLC was cut out. The next one I will talk about is Kojaku. So I really like Kojaku's route in the sense of like I like Kojaku and his writing, his backstory. I like how his tattoos represent shame. It's just like a scar that will never go away, right? And him coming to terms with like, these things are never gonna go away. Alba even says it, the things you did, you can never undo the past, but deep down you're still you, and I know who you are, no matter what you did. When he confesses to Alba, he's just very shy and bashful, and it makes me feel like, this is the kind of... It seems very genuine, and, they seem very playful, and it just makes me happy. Even though I'm sure they could be great as friends, I think that they just know each other so well. That's the thing. If he never went down this path, Kojaku would hardly remember, isn't it? Or was it a secret? Kojaku... I don't know if he was so in denial or if it was a secret because he realized like that doesn't make him happy. And I think that's very cute, and coupled along with his like very sincere, bashful confession, it just like, yeah. I will say I do not like Alba's haircut in this ending. Alba's haircut in this ending definitely balances out, I think, some of the very strong like writing and like perspective, emotionally introspective aspects of this route, I will say. I really like Kojaku though. I really like him for Alba. He's here because noise pulls at my heartstrings. I feel like he has a lot in life other than just solely Alba, even though Alba did help him a lot to heal in this path. I feel like Mink and Noise might need him more. Then I have Clear, who with Clear, I just think he's a little weirdo. Like, I love him. I love Clear. I think he's like, him and Ren are like the really appealing ones to me because they have like longer hair. You know, Clear has his moles, Ren has his like pointy ears and his earrings and tats. Like, that's so cool. But yeah, for Clear, I think he's really cute, he's really bubbly, he's really loyal and faithful. I really like that about him. It seems Clear's personality the most. I think he's just a gorgeous little boy and he deserves the world. I love his happy ending, where he's sitting on the roof, you know, he's singing his little jellyfish song. He's very unconventional. Clear is, he has his own wants, even though he's, you know, programmed. He's explicitly like going against it. I think they could be happy. I just wonder if this is realistic. Well, you know, none of this is it. We're talking about a game here, like a visual novel. We're talking about dramatical murder here, but you know, getting his bad ending first made me kind of think, you know, love, like what is love and what is obsession, this kind of thing. And is that too surface level or shallow? He and Alba can be friends and it's fine. You know, Clear stays being his happy little weirdo. I think even their friendship is nice and it doesn't really have to go into the realm of romantic. Clear just doesn't have a lot to lose in that respect. I think like Clear is obviously a very considerate guy. Like, you know, he obviously cares a lot. Like, even in the other routes, he's always preoccupied, you know, worried about other people, caring about other people. Yeah, he's like very polite. I think he's really cute. He deserves everything. He's a little cinnamon roll. So next we have Ren, and this may come as a surprise because actually like on first appearances it seemed that Ren in Sei's body was like more my type I was expecting, but it's just very odd that it was a part of Alba. And then yeah, I think he's cute, he's nice, he's like a little guidance figure, and I feel like that could be good for Alba. I just don't know what to say because it was like a part of him and now it's like a separate thing. And they're brothers, genetically modified, kind of like experimental brothers. It's just interesting territory. And because like he came from Alba and he's like in the body of his long lost twin, even if they're genetically modified, it's kind of interesting. I will say Sei is a cutie though. I love Sei. I don't know, he deserves the world, you know. Sei is cute. I really like his rhyme form a lot. I love the pointy ears, his words in this route were so impactful. Like, even though he was held hostage for a long time, he says that that he actually doesn't hate Toa, and it's really remarkable that he can be able to kind of find that peace or forgiveness. I feel bad that we had to kill him, and it was so cute when he showed up in that alley though. It was so cute. He's so cute. So for the last ones, you already know it goes to Trip and Virus because, dude, they only have a bad ending, right? I don't know where to get started on them. Like, it's their only bad ending. Like, I wish they had a good ending. I would really wish like it got balanced out. Oh my god, because they're heartless. Like, I think what's his name, the guy with the glasses, is cute. I think his name is Virus. Yeah, I don't know, I think he's cute. Like, I prefer him out of both of them, but I also think that they're very like and they seem like they're only caring about themselves. I don't think that Alba really adds a lot of value into their lives. They're just kind of like a possession for them. And this ending is, yeah, wow, so out of left field for me. I kind of like that they like to stay amused. However, like, I wish that it respected his dignity and like his personhood. I guess they might have to keep him locked up because of Toa and stuff, but I don't know, it's just a horrible way to live, and just I can't put it into words. Hey, but the OST is a banger though. Oh my god, I love the OST, bro. Yeah, I don't know. They just it's weird. I wish they had a happy ending where like, but no, why are they just painted as like evil? Why can't I see their good points as well? Well, yeah. Thank you for watching. This was obviously all my personal opinion. Let me know down in the comments if you disagree with some of my reasoning and rationale. If somebody should be placed higher, or I was looking through the older forums. I know some people really like Virus and Trip for some reason. Not for some reason. They do have like some charm points. They're really witty, and they're definitely characters, I will say. So yeah, let me know down in the comments if you're like a wildling Virus and Trip fan. And yeah, honestly, my favorite boy out of the whole game has to be Alba himself, like, because he's the most normal acting one. I like his bratty personality. He seems fun to be around. Minkin's intimidating. Clear is a little bit strong out of the gate, and I don't know, kind of seems people pleasy. And then Noise is just so hard. Noise is a bratty little kid. How are you gonna talk to Noise? Drip and Virus are intimidating. Yeah. And who am I missing? Kojaku. Kojaku's a player. Yeah. Alba is my favorite for real.